Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm just going to be making some GFXs for people, since I actually recently made a post saying that if anybody wants me to make a GFX, just leave a username in the comments. And as you can see, quite a few people left the username in the comments, so I'm going to be making some GFXs for him. This is the first person that I'm making a GFX for, and he's called Real Tramway. So all I'm going to do from here is just spawn as an R15 character. I'm going to just use this avatar loader, which I actually bought for real money. And I'm just going to pose his avatar. And just like this, I've finished doing the pose. I'm not really sure what this is, but I hope he likes it. Okay, so from here, all I need to do is just export his character. I'm not going to record that part, just in case I reveal any sensitive information. Okay, so from here, I just load up Blender. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to import the avatar in here. Alright guys, and remember, if you guys want a GFX, just comment your username in the comments of this video, and I'll definitely check out your username and try and make you a GFX. I'm not really sure if you wanted it to be glossy or not. I'm just going to make it glossy anyway. So right now it's time to change the lights. I'm honestly not really too sure on what to do with the lights. I kind of just mess around with them until I like it. I normally just change the warm and cold, and then normally I change the top and right and left, just depending on how it looks. So for this, I feel like I'm going to make it a little bit cyan. I feel like this is what would make it like look the best, just like this. Okay, now that I'm done with the lights, all I need to do is I just need to get the camera. I just do this by selecting active cameras, then I put the navigation to walk navigation. In GFXs, I normally don't show the feet. I don't know why, I just kind of think it looks better. And just like that, I got the correct position that I want. Now from here, all I'm going to do is just click render, just like this, and then click render image. Okay, from here, what I'm going to do is head over to Photopea. I'm going to select a Twitter profile, and I'm going to put it as transparent. For some reason, you can use the Twitter profile as a YouTube thumbnail. I have absolutely no idea why. And for me, it looks a lot better, especially since the YouTube profile picture is a lot bigger and harder to fit avatars in. So it'll make your avatars look blurry. Okay, there we go, and I just got the Real Tramway guy in the Photopea. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is just put him down just a little bit so it's hiding this little section here. So as you can see, the legs got cut off just a little bit. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into blending options. I like to add just a little bit of drop shadow, just like this. Now space out the drop shadow, just like that. Just add like a little dark effect to it. I add some outer glow. I make the outer glow size, like, depending on whichever looks good. And then I normally put this to the colour theme. So for example here, the colour theme is blue. And I just change the opacity to make it look just like this. And this is pretty much whatever I do for the avatar. Maybe sometimes I'll add some inner shadow, or maybe inner glow, and then I just put the opacity on just like this, and then I make it blue just like that, or maybe make it a little bit darker. Then from here, all I do is head over to Google, and I just type in GFX background. You can type in whatever you want. I like to do GFX black background, then the colour theme. So for here, the colour theme is going to be blue. Then I just like look around for something. If I can't really find anything I like for example here, I like this, but as soon as I copied the image and went over to Photopea, it had watermarks all over it. So what I decided to do instead is I just typed in blue gradient, just like this, and I looked for a blue gradient which I liked. I looked around just for a little bit, and then I found this one here. I just copied the image, took it over to Photopea, made it a little bit bigger, and made sure that it actually fit. Just like this, and then what I do is I just put it under the photo of the person, and as you can see, this is already coming together pretty well. And then what I do is I just type in black ray background. I really like this one here just for the rays, but it had a license on it, but I think I still decided to use it anyway. Yeah, as you can see, what I did for this is I just put the mode on darken, just so it removed the backgrounds really easy. And then all I do is I just change the opacity like 20, depending on what it looks like. Sometimes put it on 25, but for this one I actually put it on like 17, just so it wasn't that obvious that it had a license on it and that you could not see the watermarks. Then all I do is I just type in cool blue dotted background, and I just look around for some. I like to just have a quick look. Like, I like backgrounds like this which have like big dots going into small dots. So I just copy this image and I type it into Photopea. Maybe make it just a little bit bigger and smaller depending on what I like. I'm trying like not to get the absolute massive dots in because it'll look weird. Then I just lower the opacity so you can just see it in the background. What I think this does, I think it adds like a nice little dotted effect. It just adds more texture to the background than just completely leaving it as nothing. I mean, I guess you could actually do this yourself by just going to blending options, clicking on this and adding texture to it and adding like dots and all that. I don't actually know if you can get custom textures, but me right now, I just find it easier to just add the dot background. Okay, now I'm just gonna send the GFX just to my Discord server, just like this. And then, real Tramway, if you want this GFX, just join my Discord server, and you'll just be able to copy it and use it as your profile picture. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this person's user, and I'm gonna make their GFX next. Okay, let me just load their avatar in, and straight away, I can already tell that this one's gonna be quite a lot easier to make since it's a blocky avatar. I much prefer making blocky avatar GFXs. I don't know, I just prefer it for posing, etc. It's just what I'm used to. I like this guy's avatar, it's pretty simple. For some reason, everybody's avatar today has actually been blue, which is quite weird. But anyway, let me get on to posing this avatar. So what I think I'm going to do for this pose is I think I'm just going to go with the pose that I normally do, which is just bringing the hand up here and like moving it down a little bit. I'm not actually sure what this pose is. I don't know, I just kind of like, I did it for like one of my live streams and I've kind of liked it ever since. To be fair, I probably should be using a rig for this, but I'm not really sure how to use a rig yet. Like Blender is pretty new for me. But if you guys have any tips, please leave them in the comments. It would help me like pretty massively. Okay, now let me make sure that the legs are posed just in case I need to use the legs for the GFX. I probably won't have to use the legs for the GFX because I never do. But I always just like to pose them just a little bit sometimes. Just in case I accidentally put the legs in. Or maybe someone wants the legs in and so then I can even change it after. I don't know, I'm just going to tilt his head just a little bit, point it up. And he has actually got the smiley face on his real avatar, so I'm going to be keeping the smiley face, like that, and there we go. Okay, now I'm going to bring this over to Blender. And straight away I'm just trying to make this glossy, and I'm already getting someone asking me to make a GFX. Don't let me add them to the list real quick. This video is going to take me hours, guys. Alright, well, let me just change the... Make sure that it's glossy. For some reason, I have no idea why this happened, real Tramway, I'm sorry. But it did not make your avatar glossy. Like this guy's avatar here, I think it would look pretty good since it's mainly just blue. Like he looks like a smurf. Like that's a good thing though when you're making a GFX. I mean, I like his avatar. that was kind of mean, alright? I don't mean it like that. He's got a good avatar. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put it as white, just like this. Make sure like the glossiness stays. And yeah, guys, as I said before, if you've got any tips, please make sure to leave them in the comments. Like, it would massively help me. Yeah, also, something that I've been struggling with is I can't actually use poses in Blender. I think that's because I'm not using a rig, but I'm not too sure. So if anybody that is, like, more experienced than me with Blender, just make sure to leave a comment on this video. Okay, yep, and I think this looks pretty good. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the camera set up. I don't actually know if the camera angle is already good at what it is. Let me see. And yeah, it's not. Okay, so I'm just going to have to move this around. Walk navigation. I'll try not to get too much of the joints in, like on the Roblox avatar. Like, as you can see, this thing here. I know it probably looks like very pixelated for you guys right now. Hold on, wait. I can change that just by clicking on this little option here. There we go. So now I can actually see the pose a lot clearer. So as you can see, the like joints here are sticking out, which I try to avoid happening. Like, I'll try to go to this side if the joints are doing that, so it hides that. Which is obviously the pretty good thing about having a camera and just being able to like take it wherever you want. So I'm just gonna go back to the walk navigation, find the right angle for this guy's face. Yeah, and I think this is like the correct angle. And yeah, as I expected, it got a little bit of the legs in, just like this. As you can see, the avatar came back. I think this actually will look pretty good. So I'm just gonna render this avatar just by clicking render image. And it literally takes about 10 seconds to render. I don't know why it literally does not take that long to render at all. Like, it is so fast when you render it. Okay, well from here I'm just gonna add some drop shadow. Just add a little bit of outer glow, obviously making it blue. I'm not trying to match the same color that I did last time. I really want it to merge with a different color. Like for example, it can merge with like cyan here, like that, and then maybe make it just a little bit whiter. Then the size up just a little bit, just like that. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Turn on some spread. Yeah, okay, don't turn on any spread. Don't do that ever again. Right, what is precise? I honestly don't really know what I'm doing in these settings. I'm kind of just messing around. I mean, I am getting pretty decent at photo P, but I'm not sure. I mean, obviously I'm not the best. It's hard to be the best. I don't know, I'm just kind of playing around with the settings, seeing whatever looks good. I think this looks pretty good so far. Okay, I just went for the same basic thing again, just a blue gradient. I'm actually gonna look for like a pretty good one here. I like these ones that are kind of like fading into white. I think this looks pretty good. It's probably going to have Adobe written all over it though, and it actually doesn't. That's a relief. Like, whenever something's made by Adobe, it normally has Adobe watermarks all over it. That's my only problem with Blender. Like, I would make GFXs in Blender. It's just that everything there has just got watermarks all over it. Alright, so I've got the background here, and I've already got this little, like, thing to add the rays. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to shape this to the size. Okay, so I added a little bit of rays to it, and I just changed the outer glow just a little bit. I've added some lightning to this one. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in the corners, maybe make this a little bit bigger. Okay, I just added a few effects off camera just like this. I added some dotted lines, and now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to type in star. I tend to not add too much stars, or like I try to avoid the stars because the stars can make a GFX look really weird. But for this one, I'm actually going to try add some, but I'm not going to add that many. Maybe I'll try I'll put like the opacity really low, just so you can just barely see the star. So if you don't want to like use the stars, you really don't have to. But there we go. It just adds like a little bit of extra texture, just like there. Maybe if I put it under the avatar, there we go. Like that. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to add a bit more texture to it. Alright, let me see. This a bit bigger. There we go. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, there we go. I just sent my GFX to my Discord server. Oh yeah, if you actually want to just take a screenshot of the GFX and use it, you can just take a screenshot of this just like that. I'll pause. I'll just like stay here just for about 5 seconds and just talk a little bit. So if the person that's watching this video, you can get a screenshot of this. Well yeah guys, that was the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'm really sorry if I didn't get to make your GFX. I promise that I'll make your GFX in the next video, unless I get a bunch of people asking me. I might get a bit overwhelmed. But what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to make a series where I'm just going to make 2 GFXs for people every video, and I'm going to try upload these daily, as I'm actually quite enjoying making GFXs for people. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned, type your username in the comments if you want a GFX, and if you watched until the end of the video, make sure you comment ACB. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and goodbye.